Hello students, welcome to the subject of Programs for Rural and Urban Development. In this, the next lesson is Programs to Enhance Food Production. Let us try to understand the agricultural scenario of the country, gain knowledge on various schemes since independence, also comprehend the schemes and programs to sustain agricultural growth in India. India exported $39 billion worth of agriculture products in 2013, making it the 7th largest agriculture exporter worldwide and the 6th largest net exporter. Most of its agricultural exports serve developing and least developed nations. Indian agricultural or horticultural and processed foods are exported to more than 100 countries, primarily in the Middle East, Southeast Asia, SAARC countries, the EU and the United States. As per the 2010 FAO World Agriculture Statistics, India is the world's largest producer of many fresh fruits and vegetables, milk, major spices, select fibrous crops such as jute, staples such as millets and castor oil seed. India is the second largest producer of wheat and rice, the world's major food staples. India is the world's second or third largest producer of several dry fruits, agriculture based textile raw materials, roots and tuber crops, pulses, farmed fish, eggs, coconut, sugarcane and numerous vegetables. India is ranked in the world's 5 largest producers of over 80% of agricultural produce items, including many cash crops such as coffee and cotton in 2010. India is one of the world's 5 largest producers of livestock and poultry meat, with one of the fastest growth rates as of 2011. One report from 2008 claimed India's population is growing faster than its ability to produce rice and wheat. Other recent studies claim that India can easily feed its growing population plus produce wheat and rice for global exports if it can reduce food staple spoilage, improve its infrastructure and raise its farm productivity to those achieved by other developing countries such as Brazil and China. In fiscal year ending June 2011, with a normal monsoon season, Indian agriculture accomplished an all-time record production of 85.9 million tons of wheat, a 6.4% increase from a year earlier. Rice output in India hit a new record at 95.3 million tons, a 7% increase from the year earlier. Lentils and many other food staples production also increased year over year. Indian farmers thus produced about 71 kilograms of wheat and 80 kilograms of rice for every member of Indian population in 2011. The per capita supply of rice every year in India is now higher than the per capita consumption of rice every year in Japan. In the years since its independence, India has made immense progress towards food security. Indian population has tripled and food grain production more than quadrupled. There has been a substantial increase in available food grain per capita. Before the mid 1960s, India relied on imports and food aid to meet domestic requirements. However, 2 years of severe drought in 1965 and 1966 convinced India to reform its agricultural policy and that they could not rely on foreign aid and imports for food security. India adopted significant policy reforms focused on the goal of food grain self-sufficiency. This ushered in India's Green Revolution. It began with the decision to adopt superior yielding, disease resistant wheat varieties in combination with better farming knowledge to improve productivity. Being a major livelihood for 3/4 of the Indian population, agriculture sector receives major thrust in all policies and programs. A brief scenario of programs during earlier 5-year plan periods is presented here. During 1960 to 61, Intensive Agriculture Development Program IADP was implemented to provide loans for seeds and fertilizers to farmers. In 1964 to 65, Intensive Agriculture Area Program IAAP was implemented to develop special harvest in agriculture area. In 1966 to 67, Green Revolution to increase productivity confined to wheat production. In 1973 to 74, Marginal Farmer and Agricultural Labor Agency for technical and financial assistance to marginal farmers. In 1974 to 75, Small Farmer Development Scheme for technical and financial assistance to small farmers. In 1975, Command Area Development Program CADP for better utilization of irrigational capacities. In 1977 to 78, Desert Development Program DDP to control the desert expansion by maintaining environment balance. In 1977 to 78, Food for Work Program providing food grains to labor. In 1983 to 84, Farmers Agriculture Service Centers FASCs. This is to tell the people the use of improved instruments of agriculture. 1990, Agriculture and Rural Debt Relief Scheme. The scheme will cover direct agricultural loans extended to marginal and small farmers and other farmers. In 1997 to 98, Ganga Kalyan Yojana to provide financial assistance to farmers for exploring groundwater resources. In 2007, Gramin Bhandaran Yojana for creation of scientific storage capacity with allied facilities in rural areas. In August 2007, Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana to incentivize the states that increases their investment in agriculture and allied sectors. In 11th year plan, Agriculture Technology Mission Agency ATMA. ATMA is responsible for coordination and management of agricultural extension related work in the district. 1970s Watershed Development Program for increasing agricultural production in rain-fed semi-arid areas. In 9th plan, National Scheme on Welfare of Fishermen to provide basic amenities like housing, drinking water, community hall, etc. for fishers. In 2007 October, National Food Security Mission increasing production of rice, wheat, pulses and coarse cereals through area expansion. Focusing on versatile issue of crop production to consumption, various schemes and programs under each scheme are in execution to meet the country's demand for food. Let us see the schemes on agricultural marketing. First, Rural Go-Down Scheme. To create scientific storage capacity with allied facilities in rural areas to meet the requirements of farmers for storing farm produce, processed farm produce and agricultural inputs. To promote grading, standardization and quality control of agricultural produce to improve their marketability, prevention of distress sale by providing the facility of pledge financing and marketing credit, to strengthen agricultural marketing infrastructure in the country. The beneficiaries are Farmers Group, Commodity Interest Group, Farmers Federation, Agriculture Entrepreneur or Individual Farmer, Partnership or Proprietary Firm, Farmers Cooperatives. Next, development or strengthening of agriculture marketing infrastructure, grading and standardization. To provide additional agricultural marketing infrastructure to cope up with the large expected marketable surpluses of agriculture and allied commodities. To strengthen existing agricultural marketing infrastructure to enhance efficiency. To promote direct marketing so as to increase market efficiency through reduction in intermediaries and handling channels, thus enhancing farmers' income. To provide infrastructure facilities for grading, standardization and quality certification of agricultural produce so as to ensure price to farmers commensurate with the quality of produce. The beneficiaries are individual farmer, group of farmers or growers, partnership or proprietary firms, non-government organizations, self-help groups, companies, corporations. Next, marketing research and information network. To establish a nationwide information network for speedy collection and dissemination of market information and data for its efficient and timely utilization. To facilitate collection and dissemination of information related to better price realization by the farmers. To sensitize and orient farmers to respond to new challenges in agriculture marketing by using ICT as a vehicle of extension. To improve efficiency in agriculture marketing through regular training and extension for region specific farmers in their own language. The beneficiaries are farm community, stakeholders of Atma, Samiti, KVKs and marketing board. Next is schemes on credit. Under this, National Agricultural Insurance Scheme. This is to provide insurance coverage and financial support to the farmers in the event of failure of any of the notified crop as a result of natural calamities, pests and diseases. To encourage the farmer to adopt progressive farming practices, high value inputs and higher technology in agriculture. The beneficiaries are all farmers including sharecroppers and tenant farmers. Next is Modified National Agricultural Insurance Scheme. To provide insurance coverage and financial support to the farmers in the event of prevented sowing and failure of any of the notified crop as a result of natural calamities, pests and diseases. To encourage the farmers to adopt progressive farming practices, high value inputs and better technology in agriculture. To help stabilize farm incomes, particularly in disaster years. The beneficiaries: all farmers including sharecroppers, tenant farmers growing the notified crops in the notified areas are eligible for coverage, which includes individual owner cultivator or tenant farmers or sharecroppers, farmers enrolled under contract farming directly or through promoters or organizers, groups of farmers or societies serviced by fertilizer companies. Next is schemes on extension. Under this, support to state extension programs for extension reforms such as Atma scheme. This is to reform the earlier system of agriculture extension in the ways in order to provide better and more efficient extension service. such as new institutional arrangements, decentralized decision making, broad-based extension delivery, that is FSA, group approach to extension, that is FO and FIGs, gender concerns, minimum 30% allocation. The beneficiaries are farmers group, that is commodity interest group, farmers federation, agriculture entrepreneur, individual farmer. Next is mass media support to agricultural extension. The scheme Mass Media Support to Agriculture Extension aims to fulfill certain specific objectives such as broadcasting programs covering a wide spectrum of topics in agriculture and allied fields to cover the entire country, with special focus on isolated areas and marginalized population. Repeat broadcasts at different time slots to suit the viewers' convenience of different segments of population. The beneficiaries are farmers, extension workers, field level functionaries, agriculture scientists, researchers and policy makers, and the general public. Next, Central Sector Scheme establishment of agri-clinics and agribusiness centers, AC-ABC. This is to create gainful self-employment opportunities to unemployed agriculture graduates, agricultural diploma holders and intermediate in agriculture and science graduates with PG in agriculture related courses, to support agriculture development and to supplement efforts of public extension by necessarily providing extension and other services to farmers. The beneficiaries are agriculture entrepreneur, individual farmer. Next, schemes on horticulture. Under this, National Horticultural Mission. This is to enhance horticulture production, improve nutritional security and income support to farm households, to establish convergence and synergy among multiple ongoing and planned programs for horticulture development, to promote, develop and disseminate technologies through a seamless blend of traditional wisdom. The beneficiaries are Farmers Association, farmers companies, registered farmers societies, farmers cooperatives, extension workers. Next, schemes on information technology. Under this, National E-Governance Plan in Agriculture. This is to promote rapid development of agriculture through use of ICT for ensuring timely access to agriculture related information for the farmers of the country, to integrate various activities in the agriculture value chain so that farmers would able to make proper and timely use of the available information. The beneficiaries are individual farmers and farming community. Next, Kisan Call Center. To meet the queries of farmers on agriculture and allied activities through a toll-free 1800-180-1551. The beneficiaries are individual farmers. Next, schemes on integrated nutrient management. Under this, National Project on Management of Soil Health and Fertility. This is to facilitate and promote integrated nutrient management through judicious use of chemical fertilizers, including secondary and micronutrients, in conjunction with organic manures and biofertilizers for improving soil health and its productivity. To strengthen soil testing facilities and provide soil test based recommendations to farmers for improving soil fertility and economic return to farmers. To promote use of micronutrients for improving efficiency of fertilizer use. The beneficiaries are farmers group, that is commodity interest group, extension staff, agricultural entrepreneur, individual farmer, area like village or ilaka. Next, national project on organic farming. This is to popularize organic farming for enhancing farm income. The beneficiaries are individual farmer, farmers group, agricultural entrepreneur, service provider. Next, schemes on macro management. Under this, macro management of agriculture supplementation or complementation of states efforts through work plan. Macro management scheme will aim at all round development in agriculture through work plans prepared by states that include reflection of local needs or crops or region specific or priorities, etc., providing flexibility and autonomy to states, optimum utilization of scarce financial resource, maximization of returns, removal of regional imbalances. Beneficiaries: it has been decided to move away from schematic approach to macro management mode by integrating 27 centrally sponsored schemes. Implementation of price support scheme and market intervention scheme through National Agricultural Cooperative Marketing Federation of India (NAFED). This is to provide remunerative prices to the farmers by declaring minimum support prices and its implementation through NAFED under PSS and MIS. Beneficiaries: the price support scheme and market intervention scheme ensures remunerative prices to the growers, and in case market prices fall below the MSP or MIP, central or state agencies start the purchase operation by paying the MSP or MIP to the farmers. Next, scheme relating on mechanization and technology. Under this, Vidarbha Intensive Irrigation Development Program. This is to increase productivity of rain-fed cotton farming in Vidarbha region through rainwater harvesting, intensive irrigation and better crop management. To bring maximum cotton growing area under protective irrigation and better soil moisture regime through in situ and ex situ conservation measures. In situ conservation is the on-site conservation or the conservation of genetic resources in natural populations of plant or animal species, such as forest genetic resources in natural populations of tree species, and ex situ conservation is the preservation of components of biological diversity outside their natural habitats. This involves conservation of genetic resources as well as wild and cultivated or species, and draws on a diverse body of techniques and facilities. The beneficiaries are farmers group and individual farmer. Next, schemes on natural resource management. Under this, central sector scheme of Soil and Land Use Survey of India, rapid reconnaissance survey of the catchment areas of river valley projects and flood prone rivers, detailed soil survey of the very high and high priority watersheds to provide database for scientific land use planning, execution of soil conservation measures, district based land degradation mapping, monitoring and evaluation study of watershed development project using remote sensing and GIS. Beneficiaries: farmers, state user departments. Next, watershed development project in shifting cultivation area to protect hill slopes of Jhum areas through soil and water conservation measures on watershed basis and to reduce further land degradation. Encourage and assist Jhumia families to develop Jhum land for productive uses with improved cultivation and suitable package of practices leading to settled cultivation. Beneficiaries Jhumia families. Next, centrally sponsored program of soil conservation in the catchments of River Valley project and flood prone river. Prevention of land degradation by adoption of a multidisciplinary integrated approach of soil conservation and watershed management in catchment areas. Improvement of land capability and moisture regime in the watersheds. Promotion of land use to match land capability. Beneficiaries farmers, land departments. Next, centrally sponsored program for reclamation and development of alkali and acid soils. Reclamation and development of the lands affected by alkalinity and acidity. Improvement of soil fertility by undertaking appropriate on farm development, application of soil amendments and growing suitable crops and horticulture crops. Beneficiaries farmers and land departments. Next, schemes related to plant protection. Under this, integrated pest management to maximize crop production with minimum input costs, minimize environmental pollution in soil, water and air due to pesticides, minimize occupational health hazards due to chemical pesticides. Beneficiaries are FFS farmer, agricultural and horticultural extension officer. Next, schemes of Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. Under this, the vegetable initiative for urban clusters, addressing all concerns related to both the demand and supply side of the vegetable sector in selected cities, enhancing vegetable production and productivity, improve nutritional security and income support to vegetable farmers. Beneficiaries vegetable growers, farmers association and unemployed youths. Next, rain-fed area development program. The program aims at improving the quality of life of farmers, especially small and marginal farmers, by offering a complete package of activities to maximize the farm returns for enhancing his or her food and livelihood security. Beneficiaries farmers association, farmers companies, registered farmers societies, farmers cooperatives, extension workers. Schemes on rain-fed farming. The National Watershed Development Project for rain-fed areas. Conservation, development and sustainable management of natural resources including their use, enhancement of agricultural productivity and production in a sustainable manner. Beneficiaries areas like villages, user groups, SHG, NGO. NGO as implementing partner. Next, schemes on technology mission on oil seeds, pulses and maize. Under this, integrated schemes of oil seeds, pulses, oil palm and maize. This is to promote crop diversification and to provide focused approach on programs to encourage farmers to grow oil seed on a large scale. Beneficiaries oil seed growers, pulse growers, maize growers and palm tree growers. This is how we enhance food production. Any questions?
Ma'am, this is Sahitya. Ma'am, I have a doubt. What is JUM?
JHUM. It is Jhum. It is slash and burn cultivation for states of northeastern hill region of India, and people involved in such cultivation are called Jhumia. The practice involves clearing vegetative or forest cover on land or slopes of hills, drying and burning it before onset of monsoon and cropping on it thereafter. Well then, this is all about programs for food production. Thank you.